Chazal teach us, Gemara in Sanhedrin, Daf Sariches, says if you want to be saved from Chevli Moshiach, you need to be Hisaskus B'Torah Gemilas Chasanim. Speaking about this a lot, and I think there's a very deep concept we could take from this week Parshas Vayera about how to do that exactly. The pasuk says after Sedom was destroyed, Lot and his daughters flee, and they think it's the end of the world. It's another Mabul. And the pasuk says, the test pasuk of Lamed Aleph, "V'toyimra b'chira ratzila, avinu zokin, ve'en ish ba'aretz lo v'oleh k'derech kol haaretz." Says the Ramak, "V'tomar" is the letters of Aim Rus, and Seira, the gematria of Seira is Nama, Rus was eventually the progenitor of David HaMelech, and Nama was one of Shlomo Melech's wives, the future progenitor of many of the kings, Chizkiyahu and others. And we see from here that Melech Moshiach was really born from Sedom. But how did that happen? How did it happen that two girls from Sedom? You wouldn't think these are where Moshiach is going to come from. So Chazal tells something very deep. When Lot left Avram, in that separation, there was tipas of Kedusha that were nidbak, that were clinging to the tumah that Lot represented, but they were hidden there. They were locked in, as it were. What's that? Then he got from Avram. Yes, of course. So how do you get them out? How do you get those tipas out? Chazal teach us that it was through the Mesiras Nefesh for Chesed that Lot did, that his daughters did Mesiras Nefesh. In Sedom, it was illegal to do Chesed, right? Caught doing Chesed, you can put in jail for life sentence. That was like the worst crime possible in Sedom. So they were Moser Nefesh for Chesed. Chesed is the ability to break through the klipas, the husks of Tumah, and to pull out the Oros of Kedusha that exists within. And this is a tremendous power that Chesed has, that we can tap into that. Now, Chazal are telling us, he's asked us, but Torah and Gemilas Chasanim. So the Sfas Emes tells us something very, very deep. It's in Shuas Parsha, Shnas Tafresh Nun Beis, I believe, that Torah has the ability to, as it were, unlock the Chesed as well. Torah has the ability to get into the depth of the human action and unlock that light that exists within it. So by doing Torah, by learning Torah, a person is able to also to unlock that. So those two things, Torah and Mesiras Nefesh, that has the ability to unlock the Kedusha of Chesed that can really eventually bring us to the Gula, as we see from Rus and Naama, who came from Lot's daughters. Okay, so now the ultimate Chesed a person can do, right? Lupines Naiti is when somebody. What is Chesed, first of all? So the Gra says in Mishlei many times, he says there's Chesed and Emes. Chesed is undeserved, and Emes is deserved. If you do me a favor, and I do something back, that's not called Chesed, that's called Emes. Chesed is an uninitiated act of kindness. The most uninitiated act of kindness you could possibly do is when someone does something bad to you. Okay? Somebody does something bad to you, they make a fight with you, they wrong you, right? To then just overlook what they did, continue to act to them in a kind, giving manner. That's really, I think, the ultimate chesed a person is able to do. And we quoted many times the Vilna Gaon, it's in Yud Aleph Yud Tes. The Gra says nobody really ever does anything bad to you. Right? Bad is an illusion. Right? It's all coming from Hashem. Nobody ever does something bad to you. So when someone does something bad to me, it seems like that. Right? If I can continue my relationship with him, right, and without the raw involved, without feeling any hatred to this person, continue. Again, you have to be careful. If he's trying to harm you, obviously, then you don't want to have such a relationship. But if I can continue to do acts of kindness and giving to this person, even though I feel I've been hurt, so I believe that is the ultimate level of chesed to do. That's Mesiras Nefesh. That's really Mesiras Nefesh chesed. And that's his askus b'Torah u'gemilas chasanim. A person who uses the Kedusha of Torah to get to the Omek HaDvar, and that's what the Gra says. The Omek HaDvarim is that really nobody ever harms us. Okay? Everything is just nigzera from Hashem. No one ever harmed us. There's no reason not to do chesed for every single person, every single Jew. Right? That madrega of Mesiras Nefesh for chesed, that's what can save a person from Chali Mashiach. Why is that? Because what is Mashiach? The same Gemara there in Daf Tzaddik tells us Mashiach Kili or Gadol. It's a tremendous revelation of Hashem's light. All the raw in the world is really hiding Hashem's light. If we were to just take away the raw for a minute, like this room would be filled up with such light, we would be maybe blinded at this point. But this is what Chazal tells us, that the evil, the Rishoyim will be blinded by the light, and the Tznikim will be benefit and then from this or. So now today that evil is hiding this tremendous light in the world, right? And we have two ways we can facilitate this process. Number one is to eliminate raw from our perspective and just to chesed for people, even though we feel that it's undeserved and very undeserved because maybe they hurt us, right? And again, the greatest chesed you could do is just end the fight, end the machlokas, just forget that, understand that it didn't happen because of that. The Gra says that that's what the word mudden means. Mudden is a fight. He says mudden is when you judge the other person. You judge him, he did something bad to me. And the truth is, I did anything bad to you. This was the Gzera from Kashbar Shamayim, right? The more you stop judging the people, the more you stop looking at it coming from them, so the more you're able to continue acts of chesed. That's Mesiras Nefesh chesed, and that's removal of the evil from the world, removal of the ra, and that's can reveal the light. The other way to do it is Kavli Mashiach, right? When you see the raw being destroyed in front of your eyes and you're a part of it, so that's really a very clear lesson that the evil doesn't exist, but it's much more painful. It's much more painful to undergo that. So we have a choice right now in our hands. And as things are unfolding here, Eretz Yisrael, all the Gedolim that I'm in touch with have said, in Kavli Mashiach right now, our goal really should be, as much as possible, not to be part of this active form of pain, a painful active form, but to choose life. This askas b'tergnos b'sadim, to choose to remove the evil from the world by eliminating ra, perspective of ra, and then seeing the world that just through doing chesed, doing undeserved chesed, not to judge people, and not to think about this one did this one to me, and this one did that to me, and that one did that to me. I was teaching some girls last night, and I told them I was at the Kosel, and I was giving a shir actually about this very topic, not judging people, not getting upset with people. It's right before Purim. And a guy comes up to me, and he sees me recording the shir at the Kosel. He screams out, he smashes it down, and he breaks it down. Oh, I can tell you, it was, and a couple weeks later, it was gone. And my initial reaction was like, what? He said, Machshev Tameh, which means, it lasted for a couple weeks until it died, right? But usually, like, you take a computer and you throw it down on the floor, and he was very passionate about it. He really meant it, Like I said, yesterday I was in the street, a guy comes up to me, and he starts to look at me. I said, maybe he recognized me from Turning Time. He says, if you use a computer, you'll go straight to Gehenna. Oh, thank you, for letting me know. I'll take that in consideration. But the point is like this. The point is that at that very moment, I was challenged, right? This guy just threw my computer down on the ground. Not such a pleasant feeling. And I'm like, what should I do? So, I decided to say, you should have such brach in your life. You should have simcha and siyat v'shmaya and shalom bayis, like, especially, that's what you need. I just gave brachas and brachas and I was like, I didn't know what to do. There was a tzaddik who down to the coast and said, can I have a bracha also? And that's called destruction of the ra. Right? If you could do that, it was a great moment of siyat v'shmaya. But destruction of the ra is seeing the world from an incorrect perspective. Okay? Ra is all an illusion. It's just one big illusion, right? And the more you can eliminate that illusion from your life, self-generated, the more you don't need Kavli Mashiach to teach you that. Right? So this is really our job, right? If you're upset with someone did something to you, somebody upset you, somebody wronged you, right? He told you there was a guy who was learning this kol for a little bit, and people stole $10 million from him, And he asked me, what should he do? I said, shemokal these guys. So what, are you crazy? They got $2 million back. They stole $10 million from me. I said, listen, you would not have gotten 1 cent more. Now again, you don't have to hang around these guys and be the best friends and do business with them but to be vocal them and realize it had nothing to do with them. The amount of money you got was the exact amount of money you're going to earn this year. It had nothing to do with it. All life is a complete illusion. It's just one big optical illusion. And the more we can overcome that by ourselves, self-generated destruction of evil in the world, not seeing it, not seeing bad in people. This is what David Melech tells us. This is Yireh Shamayim, right? The Pasuk tells us, we say it every Shabbos, Mia Isha Chavetz Chaim, Yamim Liros Tov. Who is the person who, one second, before that, because it says, I'm going to teach you Yireh Shamayim, says David Melech, right? Shimon, where is it? Here, I'm looking here. You say it like this, right? Right. Okay. I'm going to teach you Yireh Shamayim. What's Yireh Shamayim? To see good. Right? The more we experience bad things and talk about it, and when you talk about it and think about it, it becomes a reality. Right? If I say, some guy stole $10 million from me, and this is, I speak about it more and more and more, and I think about it, right? Then it becomes a reality. Don't speak about it. It didn't happen, right? It was Xerah ben Hashemayim. Don't speak bad about people. That's the first step to Yireh Shamayim, right? Then it says, Somi Rav Akish Tov, Bakish Shalom V'Fetu, right? Pursue good and flee from evil, Bakish Shalom V'Fetu, and make shalom and pursue it, right? Yireh Shamayim means not seeing things in a jaded manner. Not seeing that this one did this to me and this one did this to me and that and that and that. That's Yireh Shamayim. Bakish Shalom V'Fetu. Somi Rav Asidim. How do you do that? By not speaking Lashon Hara. The more you speak Lashon Hara, the more you feel, right? And Stipler says by Lo Sach, when he says, you're only over when you do a mice, because it's an aver in your heart, But when you do a mice, that shows you brought into reality. Right? It was strong enough feeling in your heart to bring reality. When a person speaks Lashon Hara, that means it was strong enough to come out in an action. And that's where the real transgression and the tumah takes place. Yeah. So this is our job these days. Yeah. As much as possible, eliminate Ra, stop seeing things in it. And the Gra says this. The Gra says the roots of Sinas Chinam is Amunah. Right? The more Amunah we have, the more we realize that everything is from Hashem. Nothing is happening because of other people, then the closer we will be to Gula and Yeshua. And that's it. That's Lis'askus b'chesed. Do chesed even though people don't deserve it. The more they don't deserve it, the more it's real chesed, because that's what chesed is. And the whole Moshiach is chesed, right? The Gilui that's going to come, Parshas the Gula, is a chesed gamor. It's a chesed gamor from Hashem. Yeah? So the more we're mis'asik b'chesed, the more we self-generate and eliminate evil from the world, so the closer we'll be to that madrega. We should all be zeicha to this. And you have to daven. I was giving a class to girls last night and said, how do you do that? You have to do that. Number one, you have to daven a lot. And number two, you just have to make this a clear reality in your head, right? It has to be crystal clear. I was on the plane and I was sitting next to a non-religious young woman and she spilled hot coffee all over me. And like for a second, I was thinking, like, how am I going to react? So I went to the stewardess. I said, this girl, she doesn't have coffee. You need to give her more coffee. So she said, you're not going to get upset with me? I said, why should I get upset with you? This girl was on the path to becoming a Baal Tshuva. She was like making that decision. And she said, now I'm going to go forward. Right? You never know where people are holding. You never know what your actions are going to do. Right? So that's it. The more these days we can see the world out loud. And the Gross says, how do you do that? How do you avoid muddin? By not judging people. Don't judge people. You don't know where it's coming from. You don't know why people are acting that way. You know what's going on in their life. And the more we do that, the more we'll be saved. Hashem should help us. Siyat Dishmaya. Amen. Son.